Welcome to another episode of Wrestling and Me. And tonight we're going to be talking about Smackdown. Let's go. Okay, Smackdown tonight was another decent episode. Nothing to write home about. We had Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn in the main event. Well, I'm sorry, Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle in the main event. We had Kel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan get confronted by new challengers for their tag team titles. A valid point was made during that promo, and they got some fireworks. That's different. We had LA Knight versus Xavier Woods. That was a good match for sure. Good to see Xavier Woods getting some more TV time in the ring. Good to see LA Knight getting some more TV time in the ring. We had a returning Shinsuke Nakamura. So let's start this off with the promo in the beginning with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background. My kids are still awake. It's the weekend. And new background. Not going to be permanent. This is just for right now. My wife has some company over, so I had to change the room a bit. I had to go somewhere else. So I'm in the bedroom right now doing my thing. But back to the show. We got the tag team champions come out. They, of course, let it be known on commentary that, they're the new tag team champions. And they keep talking about how it's great to win the tag titles. And then they bring up the draft, the WWE draft happening in a few weeks. I think the ad or the commercial said like 2 weeks or something like that, but I gotta check that again for my reminder. So they talk about the draft, they talk it up, and then they get interrupted by the Usos and Solo Sikoa. They come down and they talk about, pressure. You guys over here talking about pressure. You got us, the longest reigning tag team champions, or about 2 year reign, I think, or almost a 2 year reign as tag team champions. And they say, that's pressure. You guys been champion for like what, 2 weeks? I get that. I get them on that one. 2 weeks. You calm it down, calm it down. But then they talk about, we keep it short and sweet on this one. Jay cuts in, he does his promo part, and he says, he says Kevin isn't going to be the one, Kevin Owens isn't going to be the one to turn on Sammy. They say Sammy is going to be the one to turn on his brother, like Sammy turned on his family. That being Jay saying, you turned on me and my family. So now he's planting the seed of Sammy turning on Kevin Owens. And as the night goes on, or later on in the night, you see them talking to each other, and like you see Kevin Owens getting a little frustrated with Sammy, you know, with the way he's approaching it. It's like Sammy saying, we can change people. And Kevin Owens is just like, man, this is not, what are you talking about? This isn't the move. What are you talking about, man? So I can see a little bit of frustration on Kevin Owens. Thankfully, he's not injured. At least he wasn't limping tonight. So I guess what happened last week was, part of the show, the work. So we did have that promo. And then up next, the next match we have Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. Again, great to see these guys get some TV time, especially these guys, Woods and LA Knight. It's more special because you don't see Xavier Woods get a lot of single matches. You only see him in tag team matches. But with Kofi out, Big E out, these guys for the past 2 years, I think, maybe 3, there's always one person missing, and then another person gets injured, and it's one person. Because one time Big E was by himself because Kofi and Woods was hurt, and then one time it was Kofi by himself because Woods and Big E was hurt. So we all know why. Sorry, I can't sit still. We all know why. Uh, Big E is hurt, and hopefully he'll be back to the ring soon. Hopefully, it's been a year without him, so we'll see what happens there. But L.A. Knight, Xavier Woods, they put on a good match. Decent, well, not even decent, good back and forth, as expected. Big moves that were hit, just to, give you the meat and potatoes of it all. They did typical back and forth stuff. Xavier Woods hit his tilt-a-whirl into a rushing leg sweep. And then after he hit the Russian leg sweep, he immediately did like a pop-up. So it was like all fluid, one move, all of it. So that was cool to see. He dived to the outside. He tried to do the front kick through the ropes. But LA Knight dodges out of the way, and he throws Woods into the turnbuckle. Boom. Before that, though, Woods did a dive to the outside, and he nailed him. Gets up and yells to the crowd, getting the crowd hyped. He was hyped for that. They did some more back and forth. Not Xavier. LA Knight hit scoop slam. It was a weird scoop slam, but hit a scoop slam, and then he did like this. His thing is LA Knight, and then he ran into the ropes and did a basic jumping elbow drop. So that got him a 2 count. And then they did another spot where LA Knight went for a suplex and looked like he was gonna suplex Xavier backwards, like out to the floor. And Woods was able to reverse that and do a front suplex and have LA Knight hanging on the top rope. So Woods goes to the top, which this was a nice sequence of moves here. He reverses that, hits with a front suplex on the ropes. He's hanging on the rope. And then he gets to the top, does Xavier Woods, and he does a double stomp to the back of the neck of LA Knight. Then LA Knight rolls into position for Woods to go to the opposite side of the ring. He gets on the second rope and he does a leg drop, but it's only for a 2 count. LA Knight turns around. I forget what he does, but he follows that up after with a roll-up pin, but he grabs the tights, and the ref sees him grab the tights, and he's yelling at the ref. It's one of the female refs, so he didn't do nothing crazy. And so he grabs the tights. The ref sees the tights. She doesn't break it up. She's like, yeah, nah, man, you grabbed his tights, whatever the case is. So Xavier Woods, in return, does the same thing, but the ref doesn't see him grab the tights. You get the 1, 2, 3. Xavier Woods wins. I just need them to stop having him win with the roll up, because he has a signature that he calls the backwoods, which I hate. But so he wins with that. Go to commercial, come back, and it's Imperium. They're all talking to each other, all 3 of them. Gunther is talking to them, and Woods is coming through the hallway or whatever, and he's playing the New Day Rocks with the trumpet. Yeah. And Gunther tells him, you have no respect. So, if I could face you anytime on the mat and beat some respect into you. And Woods is like, good. I've never even had a shot at this Intercontinental title. So I love a chance to basically, get a shot at facing you. So soon, if not next week, we will see Gunther versus Xavier Woods. I'm sure it's going to be a good match, but we all know that Gunther is going over here. I mean, what about Sheamus, right? So there might be some chicanery with that. So Woods getting a shot to face Gunther. I don't know if it's going to be for the Intercontinental title, but he will be facing Gunther. So that's definitely going to be a good match for sure. Interesting storytelling here, or interesting booking, knowing that he has a rivalry, Gunther, with Sheamus. So we'll see what's next on that one. So the next match we have up next would have been, or is, Santos Escobar versus Damian Priest. Another good match. In the end, it's not a lot to, the thing with Smackdown lately is that there's not a lot to report on it or say, because unless you're gonna go move by move by move, that's a different story. That's the style, right? For some. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt, it was a good match. In the end, Dominic got involved, of course. Rhea Ripley got involved, of course. Ray ended up making a save. He ended up coming out. He didn't come out with them in the beginning, but in the end of the match, towards the end of the match, when the interference got really crazy, Ray came out. But how this happened was there was the distraction, and then Priest ended up getting Santos with the South of Heaven. There was a nice reversal by Priest earlier in the match where Santos Escobar went to run into the corner, and he put the boots to the chest and just pushed him down. That's got to be brutal for a guy Santos Escobar size taking that move. on top of the fact of uh, Damian Priest being as tall as he is and hitting that move. So you got a good hit in the chest with the boots, and then you get the hit when your back hits the mat. Oh, it's brutal. Um, but there was some good high flying action from Santos Escobar. But in the end, with the cheating from Judgment Day, of course, no Finn Balor, he wasn't there. If you notice, Damian Priest gets the win, of course, yes. But if you notice, Finn Balor, he was there last week for Raw, and then he wasn't there the week before, I believe. He's not here this week, so I don't know. It's a little weird, you know, not seeing them all together. It's just been Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic. Um, we had uh Zelina Vega get involved a little bit just to keep Rhea at bay. And then the schmas happened. You know, everybody got down with the got down, and they were all fighting because Dominic tried to get involved, and then that's when Ray came from the crowd. He came out from the crowd rocking the LWO shirt. They all had on LWO shirts. Zelina and I don't know the other two guys' names, but Zelina and what's his name? I think his name used to be Ruiz last time. But it wasn't Joaquin Wild. Joaquin Wild and Santos Escobar wore the LWO colors, the Mexican colors, and then Zelina and the other dude wore red, white, and blue LWO shirts, which was interesting. It looked cool, but yeah, just wanted to point that out. So Ray came, he made the save, and in the end, the LWO was standing tall. Ray, Santos, Joaquin, the other guy, and Zelina. That's five of them. Five. Judgment Day has four, and they still need one more. They still need one more. Um, so they continue on with that feud. We got to see how that goes. I think that's gonna be something cool, cool to see. Hopefully they can get the 5-on-5. Sorry guys, my son just walked in here. I'm probably gonna have to edit that last ending, but yeah, so that's gonna be a good match to see. I don't know if I can't even assume if they're gonna do a 5-on-5, a 3v3, but I believe Rhea Ripley will be involved in that match, and Zelina Vega, and the way it's starting to look, you can already tell that Judgment Day is gonna get drafted to Raw. But the rumor is, I mean, to SmackDown. But the rumor is that Dominic is supposed to be going to NXT, supposedly, or maybe people are gonna get confused, and Dominic was supposed to already have gone to NXT, but he's been doing so good in the Judgment Day that they nixed it. Maybe that's what people are not catching on to, because he's doing too good right now in Judgment Day to just be like, oops, send him to NXT. Makes no sense. But what I was gonna say was, it does look like Zelina Vega sooner or later is gonna get a shot at the women's championship. Is she gonna win it? I doubt it, because Rhea Ripley is on fire. I mean, not since after WrestleMania, of course, because she hasn't done anything, but she's been on fire lately, so I could see that happening. But yeah, it looks like Zelina Vega is gonna end up getting a shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it also looks like Judgment Day is gonna get drafted to SmackDown. Hopefully they keep it where teams, groups, factions all just go, and not nitpick one or the other. Just go, unless they're gonna split them up, like the rumor of Damage Control being split up. One's supposed to be going to each show, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Just it all goes together. After this match, they had a actually, was it after or before? I can't remember. It was either after this match or before this match. There was the recap of what happened to Lita and how, yeah, it was. So after the Escobar Damian Priest match, they had the recap of what happened to Lita, being attacked in the back on Monday, backstage area. She got attacked. Don't know who did it, and Trish ended up taking Lita's place. So they ended up losing the tag team titles on Monday, and then boom, we have Raquel and Liv coming out. They come out, they announce as the new women's tag team champions, and they get the big pyro, the big fireworks. Cool, but I mean, they didn't win it at like a pay-per-view or nothing, and they really didn't beat a long reigning tag team. So I don't understand the fireworks and stuff, but congratulations to them for winning those tag team titles last Monday. Uh, they get to talking, and they're like, Raquel thanks Liv for letting her throw her into people, and Liv is like, you could throw me into people anytime, and it was a little weird, a little shame. But so there was that, and then out came Chelsea and why am I doing that? Sonya Deville. They came out. They looked good, honestly. And if I'm being honest, they looked good. Uh, live not live. Chelsea had on this orange jumper. I guess that's called the jumper for you ladies. I don't know, but she had on this orange thing, this orange one piece, and Sonya had on a black one. And they came out and they pointed out something. They were like, you guys, you won the tag team titles, but you didn't win the tag team titles against the tag team champions. Somehow Lita magically got hurt and Trish stepped in for her. Free bird rule. So they were like, you didn't actually beat the tag team champions. Where's our tag team titles? And they talked about Adam Pearce, called him a pea brain, and blah blah blah. So Liv was like, we talked to Adam, and it seems like you guys are going to be our next challengers. And one thing led to another, the chit chat, the boom boom, and we have a cat fight. Well, not really a cat fight. I just wanted to say that. The ladies started fighting though, going a little couple punches here and there, and then they ended up. Sonya and Chelsea ended up, getting exited out of the ring. Liv went for Oblivion on Sonya Deville, I think, and then they ended up making a save, and that was the end of that segment. So again, show wasn't great, but it was good. And again, this is just my opinion because I'm looking at the matches. There were a lot of promos, a lot of commercials, but you could definitely see the change. There is a change of the show as of late when it comes to SmackDown, but we are definitely getting good matches. There also was a backstage segment again of Ricochet and Braun Strowman getting attacked by Ivar and Eric with Viking Raiders. So they got beat down back there. It's supposed to be a match for them next week, so we'll see how that goes. Next match we have Shinsuke Nakamura returning. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss is the resident jobber for SmackDown, and excuse me just saying that alone, but he lost. He came out real quick, throwing punches at Shinsuke, but it didn't work. Shinsuke basically hit his well-known moveset, the Fury of Punches with the forearms, the throw into the corner, kick to the back of the head, sliding outside the ring German suplex, the snap German suplex that he does, like a Kinshasa type move off the top rope. Then he hits his regular Kinshasa. The match is over. Madcap Moss tries to attack Shinsuke after the match, per Emma, because there's a thing going on that people talk about. They're going to be the number one draft pick, which is weird. And before the match, that's what Emma told Madcap. He would be, go out there and show them why you're the number one pick in the draft. Like, okay, yeah. But yeah, he loses. Shinsuke wins. And then they show Scarlett and Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross has the table. They have the table out, and Scarlett puts down the card, the little tarot card, and there's a picture of Shinsuke Nakamura. And Kross punches the table, and he's like, tick tock. So basically, he's coming after Shinsuke. I don't think that worked when he went after Rey. When he does stuff like this, he's supposed to win. I don't know what they're doing with him at all. Vince took one look at that dude. Vince McMahon took one look at that dude and was like, you're out of here. They brought him up to the main roster, had him looking like a fool, fired him. Vince McMahon leaves. Triple H brings him back, but nothing was done with this guy. I don't even think they know what to do with him. Could have just left him on NXT, I guess, but they didn't know what to do with him on NXT when they had him go up against Adam Cole. So yeah, there's that. Um, and then up next we have the main event match: Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn. Sorry about that, but yeah, we have the main event, which is I keep messing up. The main event, which is Solo and Matt Riddle. I don't know why I kept saying Sami Zayn. Matt Riddle and Solo. Paul Heyman gets in the ring and lets them know in 2 weeks that the Usos will be getting a rematch for the tag team titles. And the funny thing about that is he says at the end of all of that, he says, and you guys will lose those tag team titles. And while he's waving his finger, he looks away and he's basically got his face behind uh Jimmy and Jay, and he's like, you will lose those tag team titles because Roman Reigns is getting tired of or sick of the two of you. He didn't look at them. He was basically indirectly looking at, or however you said, he was talking to the Usos. So that is gonna be very interesting. Matt Riddle, Solo, they have their match. This is great storytelling. I didn't think they would put or push Matt Riddle back into the whole bloodline thing. I thought they would just take him out of it completely, but it's good that they didn't, because now it leads for more. Um, they talk of how he was out for like 4 or 5 months because of the attack from the bloodline, and that actually answered something for me about Randy Orton, because I forgot that they wrote Randy Orton off by being attacked by the bloodline as well. So that's an interesting bit right there. If or when Randy comes back, are they gonna put him into this storyline next? Like, what's up? So this is good stuff here, man. It really is. But yeah, they talked up the fact of how the bloodline took out Matt Riddle, which we all know why he was really out. But for storyline purposes, this is what happened. We saw that Solo Sikoa hit the Samoan thrust, I forget what it's called, uh, to Matt Riddle on a Monday Night Raw while he had his neck in the chair, and he ran into him. So they wrote him off that way. This match was good. Definitely giving Solo the rub here. Solo's getting some more TV time. He's getting some more time in the ring, and he's being built up. And they're doing a great job letting him get built up. Now, before this match even happened, the part that I forgot to mention was that there was a segment where the Usos and Solo and Paul Heyman are in the back, and Paul is sitting there hyping him up or trying to hype him up, and he was just being overbearing, if that's the right word to use in this context. He was really looking annoying, and Solo was just looking like legit. Like, I wish this dude just shut up. I don't think in real life Solo likes Paul Heyman. I really don't. I don't. I don't believe that this is just an act. I think he doesn't like Paul Heyman at all, but he's doing his job, right? So Paul Heyman mentions everything, the family, do it for this, do it for that, but do it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he cuts him off and he says more than like 2 words. And he's like, hey, just tell the tribal chief, I got this. And he did. He had it. He won. He won his match. He beat down Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle got some moves off for sure. Matt Riddle definitely got some moves off. But he beat down Matt Riddle. And then when it was all said and done, before I even get to the all said and done part, there was this one move. I think Solo did a German suplex or a German release or something, but he did something, and Matt Riddle flipped. And when he flipped, he landed on his arm, and I could see this part of his arm bend like in the wrong direction or something. I just saw it. It didn't work right. He tried to catch himself, and it didn't work right. So he hurt his arm. I don't know how bad. Hopefully he's not really injured, because that would suck after he just came back from dealing with what he was dealing with. So definitely hope he's okay. But yeah, so he got beat down. He lost. It was like a good 10-15 minute match, close to it. um he gets beat up, they beat him down, and then They go to the outside and they start fighting. Usos got involved. The Usos get involved. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get involved. Like the ref, the new ref, looks like this YouTuber that I follow. um, he gets in the ring. He gets to the outside where they were. He throws out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and then he turns around and he throws out the Usos. And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, everybody got to go. Everybody get out, go." So towards the end of the match, the Usos came from the crowd and did their little distraction thing, and Solo won with the Samoan spike. I want to say he when the Usos came, Matt Riddle jumped off the top rope and Solo kicked him in the gut, and then eventually he hit him with the spike. I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. He hit him with the spike, and then the match was over. And then after that, they go to fighting. They get fighting to the outside. He gets beat down. Does Matt Riddle, and then he gets the table. Solo gets the announcer's desk and flips it over on top of Matt Riddle, and then that's when the tag champs came down to check on him. And the two male refs, one female ref, they came down there. Nobody was moving the table at all. And then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn came down, and they moved the table. So you're gonna see another match with them. You'll see a 6-man tag match between these 3 guys or between these 6 guys sooner or later. I don't think the tag team title match in 2 weeks is gonna be a real thing. I think that's gonna be a schmoz for sure. And with that, that was the end of SmackDown. Now, again, it was a good show. They did mention what the when the draft was going to happen. I think they said in 2 weeks. The first one's gonna be on SmackDown, and then the next one's gonna be on Raw. But I gotta look that up and check it again to make sure I'm right. Uh, and then as far as Rampage goes for the night, I saw bits and pieces, but I just was like clocking out. I was clocking out with it. I just Rampage just ain't the business. It ain't it. They're trying. Like their main event was a returning Sean Spears, and he was facing Jungle Boy, and they were like, hey, um, he said that Jungle Boy's like, I know you're friends with Max and all this other stuff, and Spears says, I'm not. Me and Max were friends, but I'm not with him anymore. I'm not rolling with him anymore. I want to be a world heavyweight champion too. I've had a baby. Things have changed, stuff like that. And they had their match. I didn't really pay much attention to it. I might go ahead and go ahead and do a review on it, but I don't know. For an hour show, that'll probably be like 15 minutes worth of content, 10-15 minutes worth of a review. So I don't know. But we'll see what the future holds as far as Rampage is concerned. It might not be something that I do a review on, but I'll keep my best to do my reviews on Dynamite for sure. That's it for this one. It's time for me to chill, kick back, and relax. Thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel. And you know how I say, I'm out.